Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am Jacob Jennings, your host and the founder of the Sherlock Holmes Foundation. Today, I am joined by the gorgeous Alysa Monae. Hello, Alysa. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm great, thank you. It's just really embarrassing when it happens to me, so don't worry. I understand. Yeah, I get it. So tell us, where are you, Alysa? Where are you located?
I am here in Sacramento, California.
Sacramento. Oh my God, so exotic? Question mark, question mark. No? Yes?
No, not really,
Not
but
really.
it's nice weather.
Right? That's why I love Florida. The palm trees are everything. It makes me so happy. So, Alyssa, tell everybody what you do for the foundation and how you got involved.
So I do a lot of groundwork trying to get it known who we are, what we're doing, and how all the different communities out here can help us help them
Mhm.
in changing the conversation around homelessness and how it affects our communities altogether.
You are so what a wonderful poster child you are. You're wonderful to my dear. So tell us a little bit more. You had you're going around to different stores and telling them about our new T-shirts that we have right here. Yay! They look so good. I can't stand up, otherwise I'd show you. Wait, let me see if I can. Dare I try to break the green screen? No, we're gonna let it just stay here. You just look on the. You can find the link later. So anyway, so you're going around. You actually were looking at shops. They said they would sell some of our T-shirts, and we give some of the proceeds. It'd be really very awesome. And you're the only one that's going around doing that type of thing, like boots on the ground. That's awesome. It's really exciting.
Thank you. Yes, I'm going around to different stores, different small businesses, just anywhere I think our community wants to help see it become a better community. And seeing if they're willing to let us put flyers up, seeing if they're willing to help us sell any type of merch, seeing if there's any way that we can work and partner with them so that we can either raise some funding for ourselves while helping their business, or so that we can partner in some way to raise funding for the community itself in a whole.
So you have been involved for how many months now?
I want to say
Mm.
maybe 6.
Around that time, I would say. Yeah, but you've been fantastic. You've had so much fun. I've had so much fun working with you. And you're also a real estate broker in Sacramento, correct?
Yes, I'm an agent in Sacramento.
So it makes a lot of sense because since we're trying to find housing to have agents on our team to make sure we are all doing the right thing in the right states. So Alyssa's kept me pretty much, on top of things and compliant. So thank you, my love.
You're
So Alyssa,
welcome.
how many kids do you have?
I have 2 little boys.
Oh, what are their names?
Ages. I've got Noah Alexander and Ezekiel David.
That is so cute. Those are very biblical.
Yes, we wanted names that have power, names that when they say them out loud, they feel powerful. They understand that the people who have had these names were in places of power and held
Mm.
strength behind those names. So
Mm.
that when life does kick them down, they just say their name and are reminded that their name has power within it and
That
that they're
is
going to be
so
able to get
cool.
through whatever life is pushing their way.
What's your favorite thing about being a mom?
Watching them grow, they're like a little science experiment. People hate when I say it, but they really are my own personal science experiment.
I love that you're honest because everyone else is thinking it, they just don't say it. So I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah. Let's
mean,
keep my family. That's what happened.
there's nothing more scientific than watching your child grow, because you're watching them try new foods, you're watching them do new hobbies, hear different music, all of it. It's all its own science project. You're learning with them.
It's kind of wonderful that you were a mother so young in life. So you have so much energy to keep up with them right now, but they keep you running. You're always
Nonstop.
on. Yeah. How many hours a night do you sleep roughly?
I want to say 4.
Okay, good, good, good. You're gonna need to change that because by the time you get to 30, that's not gonna do it for you, honey. At that point, you go down to 4 hours at 30, right? We gotta start somewhere. Okay. So otherwise you need to start taking Valium. So you start forgetting all your poor life decisions. So you can actually get some deep REM sleep or something. It's not even worth it. Yeah. I'm just anyway, thank you so much for being a part of our organization. I love that you're with us. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the baby board member part of our little show today. You ready?
I
Yeah.
am.
So do you want to tell everybody about this little picture we got here? Look at her. Oh my goodness. She's adorable.
That is graduation day, right before I left to go to graduation. My best friend took that picture for me. It is the only picture I have of graduation.
That is so cute. You look a little, you look so young. You look the same, just straight hair.
I was 16 in that picture. I was
You
straightening
were
my hair all the
16.
time. I
You
didn't
so you
stop
were 16
straightening
when you
my hair until I
graduated?
got pregnant. Yes.
Oh. Oh wow. So what did you graduate? How'd you graduate early?
I got kicked up a grade early in like elementary or junior high school. I did a lot of AP classes. My
Hmm.
freshman year, I ended up dropping out of school because of a concussion. It made it too dangerous for me to be a student.
Oh wow. I did not
So
know that.
my sophomore year, I started night school as well as day school. And I did
How
that for 3 years to graduate on time with my class at 16.
that is so I did not know that. I never knew that. So how'd you get the concussion?
I was in a fight at school and we
That
went
sounds amazing.
down 2 or 3 flights of stairs. I hit my head on each flight and then I went home to a family that was very abusive within their relationship. And then they were also alcoholics. So my stepdad had been drinking. I ended up getting punched in the back of my head as well as hit with a gun in the back of my head that night.
Was a
So by the
very big
time,
day.
yeah, by the time I went to the emergency room the next day, because the ambulance that night told me I was fine and to just get some rest, I was told by a medical doctor, never listen to your EMT when they tell you to just stay home.
Ooh.
So the next day we went to the quick care to see what was going on because I couldn't stay awake. I had an implant of a fist on the back of my head. I still have a soft spot today.
Oh my God. So this
Yes.
explains why you like our initiative and why we're trying to provide homes with heart, right? So
Yes.
people can care for that because you didn't come from a very healthy family, clearly.
No, my
Oh
home
my
was
dear.
extremely toxic in any way you can think of.
I'm so glad that you're with us. So, would you mind sharing with people what it is that you went from that experience? Because this is something that I want people to understand. Most people don't understand what this is why we do this show. Because I want people to understand where everyone comes from is so different and they have something valuable to contribute. Doesn't matter if you are white, black, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. We all have a story. So, Alyssa, when you graduate high school, what happened next? Like, what type of job did you get next?
I started out in college, out in Idaho, working at Ross full time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Retail.
then, yes, I was working retail. And eventually I ended up having an engagement that didn't work out. It left me broke. It messed up my credit. I ended up going back home to Vegas. Instead of moving back into my toxic family, I moved in with my best friend and slept on her sofa.
And how old were you there?
I was about 19 or 20 at this time.
So by HUD definitions, that is homeless. Couch surfing is one of the signs that you are homeless. People don't realize that. They think, oh, I've got a place to stay. You don't have to be living under a bridge to be housed to have housing and security. If you are living on people's couches or floating from place to place, you can't find a permanent residence. By HUD standards, you can be considered homeless. So something else I want people to recognize as they go. So you can actually relate to a lot of our mission here. So then what happened
Yeah.
next? You started living with your friend, then what?
I decided to get into the adult entertainment world because I still had nieces and nephews that I was trying to keep in a less toxic environment. I
Mm-hmm.
had a stepsister who was older than me that I was also trying to help because my nieces and nephews were her kids.
Mm.
Anyone who needed help in my family, I was the person that they ran to. And
Mm-hmm.
due to me not understanding how toxic it was at the time, family first. So I was definitely going to do whatever I needed to do to make sure everybody had what they needed.
So how long were you in the adult entertainment industry?
I want to say 6 or 7 years on and off. I
Mm-hmm.
started my own business with it. It's to the point where now I go in. I still dance on occasion. Most of the time, it's gaining clientele because I'll teach the girls there how to dance privately in their homes. I meet new moms that way who are looking for different ways to build their self confidence
Mm.
and get back into feeling more of themselves and less of the postpartum depression that
Yeah.
they go through
Feeling
because they're
sexy
able
and
to.
confident again, which is so hard,
Exactly.
especially when you're a mother. right? Because like your body shifts once you give birth, and suddenly things
Yes.
aren't where they used to be. And yeah, it's hard to
Yes.
feel attractive at that point, isn't it?
It's an entire mental change, it's entire physical change, and not just once, it's multiple times throughout the pregnancy.
Mm.
And then after your pregnancy as well. It's a lot. Postpartum depression, I definitely fell into it. The dancing did help me bring it back out, which is why I
Hmm.
did turn it into a business,
Hmm.
because every woman, regardless of her shape or size, should be able to feel confident within
Yes.
herself.
Yes, I completely agree with that. So how did you get the savvy to go ahead and make this a business? Like how did you go that's not something most people think, is it? So
No.
what spawned that?
So at 19, when I decided to become a dancer, I found out about independent contracting.
Mhm.
I quit my job at Ross, where I was full time. I wasn't getting paid for manager status, but I was doing all the manager work. And they just weren't willing to give it to me when I transferred. They gave me minimum wage instead of giving me the pay raise that I was expecting and promised when I moved states,
Mhm.
which was 8.25. I was supposed to be at almost $12 an hour when I moved.
This was
That was
back
the
in like
expectation while
2000 and what?
moving.
That was like 2000 and what year?
13,
Okay,
13,
yeah.
14.
Yeah, that's, and you can't live off of that. You really can't.
No.
So what I'm wanting people to see is it's so interesting. There's a lot of stigma when people think about adult entertainment, and then and this is the thing. This is such a common path. Unfortunately, here you grew up with such talent that you were able to go ahead a grade, and even through all these trials and tribulations, you still graduate with AP, and that's after having a concussion. You started college in a different state, but you still couldn't make ends meet, so you had to do what so many of us do who have experienced homelessness. You did what you had to do to survive, and turning into an exotic dancer was something that, hey, several of us have had to do that. And I honestly was like, oh my God, some of these people take this like legit. It's for real. It's serious. It's a business for them. So the ones that actually do it as a business have high self esteem, for one. They've got great self esteem. They typically know how to make money. They know how to work with people. It's a very different, there's a different edge to it. But that's mostly because of the stigma other people put on it. It's very humbling for me to meet someone like you, Alyssa, who's worked so hard for so long. You're trying so hard to change your life, and you know what? You're so good. Deep down in your core, you have such a beautiful heart. So I love that you're sharing that with the world. You're trying to help our organization. And I think it's important because so many people that are in the adult entertainment industry have experienced homelessness, which got them into the adult entertainment industry. And the statistic is there are out of the kids that age out, 40% of kids that age out of foster care identify as LGBTQ, right? And 70% of the kids, then they turn 18 and they leave their final home, they're homeless and having to prostitute themselves for a place to eat or sleep within 72 hours from leaving their final destination. So it's so common. And this stigma that people have, well, if they want to address it, they need to provide better access, better education. They need to be doing more community outreach so that kids like you at that point in time would have known that there was help and assistance. And that's what we are trying to provide as well. We're trying to get them to understand, hey, you have help, you have resources, you have assistance. And I'm so grateful that you can actually be one of those people that can speak on their level. So thank you for being so brave. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity, because honestly, it means the world to have found an organization that I can be a part of and work with, and understand that a lot of the trauma I went through brought me to this point of having the strength to actually be there and be willing to help other people that may have gone through what I went through, that hasn't been spoken of, that may have been going through something similar, that has been spoken of, and that truly need to know there are people out there that want to help them. Because when I was growing up, even at a young age, knowing that I needed help, I had the fear that nobody could help me, or nobody would help me, or nobody wanted to.
Mm.
So I think that's a big part of why I am willing to put my feet down on the ground for this organization, because somebody needs to know there's help, no matter how old they are. Because I know my life would have been completely different had I had more help than just my best friend keeping my life secret.
Well, okay, that was definitely a tearjerker. So I'm going to take a minute to, okay, we're breathing, Lamaze, Lamaze. No, is that how I do it? I don't know. I haven't given birth
It
in
is
a
how
very
you
long
do it, but
time.
it did not
Yeah.
help me. When you
Oh.
cannot breathe, you cannot breathe.
When you can't breathe, you just can't breathe. I mean, someone give me some oxygen. I totally get that part of it. So anyway, thank you so much, Alyssa, for joining us today. I'm so glad you're here. You can find more about Alyssa on our sherlockshomes.org. If you go down, you can see her on our bios for our board members. She's such a special individual. If you'd like to get in touch with her, you can reach Alyssa at, where can they reach you, Alyssa?
A Monae at sherlockshomes.org.
That's right. A Monae at sherlockshomes.org. That's SherlocksHomes.org. So, Alyssa, thank you so much for being here. I'm Jacob Jennings. I'm your host. Thank you for joining us. And if you have enjoyed this, please consider donating to our cause. You can find all of our social media links and our donations at Sherlock10k.com. That is Sherlock10k.com. From there, you can order some of our new t-shirts for Pride. Oh my God, I'm wearing the purple today. My favorite is still the pink. And we also have black, white, yellow, orange, and blue. And I think there's another one there, but I can't see it off the top of my head. So go ahead and get some. We would love your support. Show your pride, and let's make a difference in this world for the better. Right, Alyssa?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.